You have 500 games in your library. You spend 40 minutes scrolling through the menus. You look at the icons. You look at the trailers. And then you turn the console off and go to sleep. This isn't just you. Something has fundamentally broken in the way we experience video games. We are going to find out why the magic is fading and how to get it back. A lot of people ask me why they can't finish anything anymore. It is a simple question with a very deep and complicated answer. We have transitioned from an era of scarcity to an era of total overexposure. Back in the day, we had to hunt for information in magazines. We had to wait months for a single release. Now everything is served to us on a platter before we even ask for it. This video is for anyone who feels like their favorite hobby has turned into a chore. We are going to dive into the psychology of gamer burnout. We are going to look at the industry's shift toward retention instead of fun. And by the end of this, I want to give you a strategy to start actually enjoying your games again. Let's go. The first big problem is the paradox of choice. Think about how we used to get games. We would go to a shop. We would pick one box based on the cover art. We had to commit because that was our only game for the next 3 months. Today, you have subscription services that give you hundreds of titles for the price of a sandwich. When everything is available, nothing feels valuable. It is the same thing that happened to music and movies. If you do not like a game in the first 10 minutes, you just delete it. You never give the game a chance to breathe. You never learn the mechanics properly. You are just grazing on content like a cow in a field. This constant switching creates a mental fatigue that we don't even notice until we are completely burnt out. It makes the brain stop seeking the challenge and start seeking the next hit of novelty. It is exhausting. We are essentially training our brains to have a 10-minute attention span for a 50-hour medium, right? Then we have the social media feedback loop. We are bombarded with information. Back then, you saw a few screenshots in a magazine and your imagination did the rest of the work. Now you see the ending on a thumbnail before the game is even out in your region. You see professional players doing speedruns while you are still on the tutorial. This creates a subconscious pressure to perform. You feel like you are falling behind. You feel like you have to reach the end game to participate in the conversation. But gaming was never supposed to be a race. It was supposed to be a personal journey. When you see everyone else's highlight reels, it makes your own experience feel small and insignificant. We have traded the joy of discovery for the anxiety of comparison. We are not playing for ourselves anymore. We are playing to keep up with the internet. And the internet never sleeps. It is a constant stream of spoilers and opinions that drowns out your own internal voice. You forget what you actually like because you are too busy listening to what everyone else says is good. Let's talk about the industry shift. Games used to be products. Now they are services. Product has a beginning and an end. A service is designed to take up as much of your time as possible. We have battle passes. We have daily login bonuses. We have limited time events. These things are not designed to be fun. They are designed to create a habit. When a game tells you that you have to play today or you will miss out on a skin, it is using the same psychology as a gambling machine. It turns the hobby into a job. You are not playing because you want to. You are playing because you feel like you have to. When playing a game starts to feel like doing geometry homework, it is time to stop. If you reach the point where you are looking at your watch while playing, then the game has failed you. Or maybe you have failed yourself by letting the game dictate your schedule. We have to stop letting developers treat our free time like a resource they are allowed to mine. You do not owe the game anything. You do not have a commitment to the company. If it is boring, then throw it away. There is also the myth of the backlog. We talk about our backlogs like they are a debt we have to pay off. People say things like, I have to finish these 10 games before I buy a new one. Why? Why do you have to do that? If you are not enjoying a game, you are not winning by finishing it. You are just wasting more of your life. I have played enough games to know the truth. Most games are not worth finishing. Most games have a great first 10 hours and then they just fill the rest with padding. We have been brainwashed into thinking that beating a game is a badge of honor. It is not. The badge of honor is having the courage to quit a game that is wasting your time. We need to stop looking at our libraries as a list of tasks. Start looking at them as a buffet. You do not have to eat everything at a buffet to have a good time. You just take what you like and leave the rest. The moment you turn your hobby into a checklist, you have killed the spirit of gaming. Man, it is supposed to be fun. Remember fun? We also need to address the nostalgia trap. We often think old games were better simply because we were younger. When you were a kid, you had no responsibilities. You had no bills. You had no stress. Of course, the games felt more magical. You had the mental space to get lost in them. Now you come home after an 8-hour shift and you expect a video game to fix your entire life. That is a lot of pressure to put on a piece of software. Sometimes the burnout isn't the game's fault. Sometimes it is just life. We have to learn how to manage our expectations. You are never going to feel the way you did in 1997 again. And that is okay. We can find new ways to enjoy games that fit our adult lives. Maybe you don't need a 100-hour epic. Maybe you just need a tight 3-hour indie game that respects your time. We have to stop chasing a ghost from our childhood and start looking at what is right in front of us. The final truth is this: gaming hasn't changed as much as we have, but the industry has learned how to exploit our psychology to keep us engaged even when we are miserable. The cure for gamer burnout is simple but hard to do. You have to reclaim your agency. Stop following the hype. Stop checking the subreddits. Stop worrying about your backlog. Play what you want when you want and for as long as it stays interesting. The second it stops being fun, you must walk away. Your time is the most valuable thing you own. Do not give it to a game that makes you feel like a worker on an assembly line. Reclaim the joy by being ruthless with your attention. Think back to the last time you truly lost yourself in a world. It didn't happen because you were trying to complete a battle pass. It happened because you were curious. If you want to find that feeling again, you have to let go of the pressure. If you've never played a classic like Chrono Trigger or an action masterpiece like YS7, maybe start there. But only if you want to, not because I told you to. If you keep looking for the magic, you will find it. Just make sure you are looking for the right reasons. I will see you in the next one.